Welcome to the Bible Quiz Intrigue channel. Today, we're exploring the riveting tale of Queen Esther, whose courage and wisdom are celebrated across generations. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like this video to support our content. After the quiz, share your score in the comments. We love seeing how well you do. Are you ready? Let's get started. Question 1. What was Esther's Hebrew name? A. Sarah. B. Hadassah. C. Rachel. D. Lee. Answer B. Hadassah. Esther's Hebrew name was Hadassah, which means myrtle. This name is mentioned early in the book of Esther, which sets the stage for her story, Esther 2-7. Question 2. Who was Esther's cousin and guardian? A. Daniel. B. Mordecai. C. Eli. D. Samuel. Answer B. Mordecai. Esther was raised by her cousin Mordecai, who also served as her guardian after she was orphaned. Mordecai plays a significant role throughout her story in advising and guiding her, Esther 2-7. Question 3. In which book of the Bible is Esther's story found? A. Genesis. B. Ruth. C. Esther. D. Exodus. Answer C. Esther. Esther's story is recounted in the book of Esther, which details her rise to queen and her courageous efforts to save her people. Question 4. Which king did Esther marry? A. King Saul. B. King David. C. King Ahasuerus. D. King Solomon. Answer C. King Ahasuerus. Esther became the queen of King Ahasuerus, traditionally identified with Xerxes I, who ruled the Persian Empire, Esther 2:16-17. Question 5. What empire did King Ahasuerus rule? A. Babylonian Empire. B. Roman Empire. C. Persian Empire. D. Egyptian Empire. Answer C. Persian Empire. King Ahasuerus ruled over the Persian Empire during a period of great expansion and influence, which set the backdrop for Esther's story. Question 6. How did Esther become queen? A. She was appointed directly by the king. B. She won a beauty contest. C. She was the last remaining royal. D. She inherited the position. Answer B. She won a beauty contest. Esther became queen after being chosen through a royal beauty contest that the king had decreed to find a new queen following his separation from Queen Vashti, Esther 2:17. Question 7. What was the reason behind Esther's cousin instructing her to keep her Jewish identity a secret? A. To protect her from potential prejudice. B. Because the king disliked Jews. C. To surprise the king later. D. It was part of a larger plan. Answer A. To protect her from potential prejudice. Mordecai instructed Esther not to reveal her Jewish identity to protect her from potential prejudice or political maneuvers within the palace, Esther 2:10. Question 8. Who was the main antagonist in the book of Esther? A. Mordecai. B. Ahasuerus. C. Haman. D. Nehemiah. Answer C. Haman. Haman is the main antagonist in the book of Esther. He plotted to destroy all the Jews in the empire due to his hatred of Mordecai, who refused to bow down to him, Esther 3-5-6. Question 9. What evil plan did Haman devise? A. To overthrow King Ahasuerus. B. To assassinate Esther. C. To annihilate all the Jews. D. To invade neighboring lands. Answer C. To annihilate all the Jews. Haman devised a plan to annihilate all the Jews throughout the Persian Empire, motivated by his personal vendetta against Mordecai, Esther 3-8-9. Question 10. How did Esther initially respond when Mordecai asked her to help the Jews? A. She immediately agreed. B. She refused. C. She hesitated due to the risk involved. D. She was indifferent. Answer C. She hesitated due to the risk involved. Esther initially hesitated to help because approaching the king without being summoned could have resulted in her death. However, she was eventually persuaded by Mordecai's argument, Esther 4:11. Question 11. What festival commemorates Esther's actions and the deliverance of the Jewish people? A. Passover. B. Hanukkah. C. Purim. D. Yom Kippur. Answer C. Purim. The festival of Purim commemorates Esther's actions and the deliverance of the Jewish people from Haman's plot. It is celebrated with readings from the book of Esther, feasting, and joyous festivities. Esther 9:26-28. Question 12. What was the outcome for Haman's plan? A. It was successful. B. It was thwarted and he was executed. C. It was ignored by the king. D. It led to a larger war. Answer B. It was thwarted and he was executed. Haman's plan was thwarted by Esther's intervention, and he was executed on the gallows that he had originally prepared for Mordecai, Esther 7:10. Question 13. How did Esther reveal her Jewish identity to the king? A. In a private letter. B. Through a public announcement. C. At a banquet she hosted for the king and Haman. D. She never revealed it. Answer C. At a banquet she hosted for the king and Haman. Esther revealed her Jewish identity during a banquet she had arranged for King Ahasuerus and Haman, strategically using the moment to also expose Haman's plot against her people. Esther 7:1-6. Question 14. What risk did Esther take by approaching King Ahasuerus without being summoned? A. Losing her royal status. B. Being put to death. C. Being exiled. D. Losing the king's favor. Answer B. Being put to death. The law of the land was that anyone who approached the king without being summoned risked death unless the king extended his golden scepter as a sign of mercy. Esther took this risk to save her people. Esther 4:11. Question 15. What were the king's reaction and action following Esther's revelation about Haman's plot? A. He praised Haman. B. He ignored the revelation. C. He ordered Haman's execution. D. He banished Esther. Answer C. He ordered Haman's execution. Upon hearing Esther's revelation about Haman's plot against the Jews, King Ahasuerus was enraged and immediately ordered Haman's execution on the gallows Haman had prepared for Mordecai. Esther 7-9-10. Question 16. What decree was made to counteract Haman's plan? The Jews were allowed to defend themselves. B. Jews were to be exiled. C. Jews were to remain hidden. D. Jews were given positions of power. Answer A. Jews were allowed to defend themselves. To counteract Haman's plan of genocide, a decree was issued allowing the Jews to defend themselves against any who might attack them, effectively saving them from destruction. Esther 8:11. Question 17. What was the fate of Haman and his sons? A. They were exiled. B. They were promoted. C. They were hanged. D. They were forgiven. Answer. C. They were hanged. Haman and his 10 sons were hanged on the gallows that Haman had originally prepared for Mordecai. This act of justice was pivotal in the story and celebrated during Purim, Esther 7:10, 9:13-14. Question 18. How is Esther's bravery celebrated within Jewish tradition? A. By fasting for a week. B. By reading the book of Esther during Purim. C. By lighting candles. D. By wearing crowns. Answer. B. By reading the book of Esther during Purim. Esther's bravery is celebrated in Jewish tradition through the reading of the Megillat Esther, the book of Esther, during Purim. This festival not only remembers her courage, but also the survival of the Jewish people against great odds. Question 19. What role did fasting play in Esther's approach to the king? A. It was a personal challenge. B. It was meant to gain sympathy. C. It was a preparation for prayer and petition. D. It had no real role. Answer C. It was a preparation for prayer and petition. Before approaching King Ahasuerus, Esther and her maidservants, along with the Jewish people, fasted for 3 days. This act of fasting was a preparation for prayer and petitioning the king, seeking divine favor in her dangerous endeavor. Esther 4:16. Question 20. Who took Haman's place as the new royal vizier? A. Mordecai. B. Esther. C. Ahasuerus. D. No one. Answer. A. Mordecai. After Haman's execution, his position as royal vizier was given to Mordecai, who had revealed a plot against the king and was honored for his loyalty. Mordecai's rise also helped secure the safety of the Jews within the empire. Esther 8:2. Question 21. What items were exchanged during Purim as part of the celebration? A. Swords and shields. B. Gifts of food and drink. C. Scrolls of the Torah. D. Gold and silver. Answer. B. Gifts of food and drink. During Purim, it is customary to send gifts of food and drink to one another. This practice celebrates community and charity, reflecting the spirit of joy and relief at the survival of the Jewish people. Esther 9:22. Question 22. What does the name Esther mean, and how is it significant to her story? A. Light. B. Star. C. Truth. D. Peace. Answer. B. Star. The name Esther means star in Persian, which is significant as she is seen as a shining light or a guiding star for her people, leading them through a dark time of potential genocide. Question 23. How does the book of Esther differ from other books in the Bible regarding the mention of God? A. God is mentioned frequently. B. God is not mentioned at all. C. Only angels are mentioned. D. Only prophets speak of God. Answer. B. God is not mentioned at all. The book of Esther is unique in the Hebrew Bible as it does not mention God directly at all. This has been a point of discussion among scholars and theologians who find in it a story of implicit faith and providence. Question 24. What was Esther's relationship with the Jewish community after becoming queen? Estranged. B. She became a leader. C. She hid her identity completely. D. There is no information. Answer. B. She became a leader. After becoming queen, Esther used her position to advocate for and protect her people, effectively becoming a leader and a heroine within the Jewish community as she navigated her dual identity. Question 25. What characteristics of Esther are most admired in the narrative? A. Her beauty and obedience. B. Her intelligence and bravery. C. Her wealth and power. D. Her artistic skills. Answer B. Her intelligence and bravery. Esther is most admired for her intelligence and bravery, particularly demonstrated when she strategically revealed her Jewish identity in Haman's plot to the king, risking her own life to save her people. Question 26. What special beauty treatments did Esther undergo before meeting the king? A. 12 months of beauty treatments. B. She wore royal garments. C. She learned dance and music. D. She underwent fitness training. Answer A. 12 months of beauty treatments. Esther underwent 12 months of beauty treatments as prescribed for all women entering the king's harem, which included 6 months with oil of myrrh and 6 with perfumes and cosmetics. Esther 2:12. Question 27. What can we infer about Persian society based on Esther's story? A. It was egalitarian. B. It was heavily stratified and bureaucratic. C. It lacked a strong leadership. D. It was isolated and underdeveloped. Answer B. It was heavily stratified and bureaucratic. Esther's story reveals that Persian society was heavily stratified and bureaucratic, with strict protocols, especially around the king's court and matters of state and law. Question 28. What political influence did Esther have? A. She had no political influence. B. She influenced trade policies. C. She played a key role in political decisions affecting Jews. D. She led military campaigns. Answer C. She played a key role in political decisions affecting Jews. Esther significantly influenced political decisions, particularly in securing a decree that allowed the Jews to defend themselves, thus averting a massacre and ensuring their survival. Question 29. How did Esther manage her dual identity as a Jewish woman and Persian queen? A. By abandoning her Jewish identity. B. By balancing both identities wisely. C. By promoting Persian culture only. D. The text does not specify. Answer B. By balancing both identities wisely. Esther managed her dual identity by wisely balancing her role as a Persian queen and her Jewish heritage, using her position to effectively advocate for her people without revealing her identity prematurely. Question 30. What moral lessons are derived from the Book of Esther? A. The effectiveness of passive resistance. B. The dangers of absolute power. C. The virtues of courage, faith, and loyalty. D. The benefits of assimilation. Answer C. The virtues of courage, faith, and loyalty. The Book of Esther teaches moral lessons on the virtues of courage, faith, and loyalty, illustrating how Esther's brave actions, driven by her loyalty to her people and faith in her cousin's wisdom, led to the salvation of the Jews in Persia. Question 31. How does the Book of Esther address themes of identity and assimilation? A. By showing Esther's rejection of her Jewish identity. B. By depicting Esther's struggle and success in maintaining her Jewish identity in a foreign court. C. By ignoring these themes entirely. D. By suggesting assimilation is harmful. Answer B. By depicting Esther's struggle and success in maintaining her Jewish identity in a foreign court. The Book of Esther addresses themes of identity and assimilation by illustrating how Esther navigates her concealed Jewish identity in a Persian environment, ultimately using her position to save her people, reflecting the complexities of maintaining one's cultural identity in a foreign land. Question 32. What genealogical details are provided about Esther in the Bible? A. Her lineage is traced back to Adam. B. Her descent from Benjamin is noted. C. Her ancestors were priests. D. No details are provided. Answer B. Her descent from Benjamin is noted. The Bible provides genealogical details about Esther, noting that she is descended from Benjamin, which links her to King Saul and highlights her royal lineage within the Jewish community. Esther 2-5-7. Question 33. What lessons on leadership can be drawn from Esther's story? A. The effectiveness of autocratic rule. B. The importance of humility and wise counsel. C. Leadership is an inherited trait. D. Leadership should be gender-specific. Answer B. The importance of humility and wise counsel. Esther's story teaches that effective leadership often involves humility and the seeking of wise counsel, as demonstrated by Esther's consultation with Mordecai and her strategic approach to dealing with a royal decree. Question 34. How does Esther's tale illustrate the concept of divine providence? By showing random events leading to her queenship. B. By explicitly stating God's interventions. C. By the timely occurrences that position Esther to save her people. D. By demonstrating the power of luck. Answer C. By the timely occurrences that position Esther to save her people. Esther's tale illustrates the concept of divine providence through a series of timely and fortuitous events, from her ascension to the throne to her influence over the king, suggesting a divine hand guiding these outcomes. Question 35. How do modern interpreters view Esther's actions and decisions? A. As outdated and irrelevant. B. As controversial and divisive. C. As brave and strategic. D. As passive and inconsequential. Answer C. As brave and strategic. Modern interpreters often view Esther's actions and decisions as brave and strategic, highlighting her courage in risking her life and her clever manipulation of court politics to ensure the survival of her people. Question 36. How is Esther's courage portrayed in various adaptations of her story? A. As foolhardy. B. Consistently as a model of bravery and self-sacrifice. C. As an act of desperation. D. As unintentional bravery. Answer B. Consistently as a model of bravery and self-sacrifice. In various adaptations of her story, Esther's courage is consistently portrayed as a model of bravery and self-sacrifice, inspiring numerous retellings and adaptations that highlight her heroism and tactical acumen. Question 37. What does the Feast of Purim involve, and how is Esther's story central to it? A. A day of fasting and reflection. B. Gifts of food, charity to the poor, and reading the Book of Esther. C. Sacrifices at the temple. D. A pilgrimage to Jerusalem. Answer B. Gifts of food, charity to the poor, and reading the Book of Esther. The Feast of Purim involves exchanging gifts of food, giving charity to the poor, and reading the Book of Esther, which recounts the story of how Esther saved the Jewish people from annihilation, thus forming the central narrative of the celebration. Question 38. How do Esther's actions impact modern perceptions of biblical heroines? A. They are largely ignored. B. They'd reinforce traditional gender roles. C. They challenge and expand the role of women in biblical narratives. D. They suggest women should not be leaders. Answer C. They challenge and expand the role of women in biblical narratives. Esther's actions significantly impact modern perceptions of biblical heroines by challenging and expanding the role of women in these narratives, showcasing her as a key figure in her own right, capable of profound influence and leadership. Question 39. In what ways does the Book of Esther unique in its literary style and composition? A. It is written entirely in prose. B. It contains no dialogue. C. It is the only biblical book set entirely in the diaspora. D. It is composed as a series of letters. Answer C. It is the only biblical book set entirely in the diaspora. The Book of Esther is unique in its literary style and composition, as it is the only book in the Bible set entirely in the diaspora, specifically in the Persian Empire, highlighting the experiences of Jews living outside the land of Israel. Question 40. What controversies or criticisms have arisen around the Book of Esther? A. Its historical accuracy. B. Its exclusion of direct references to God. C. Its portrayal of violence. D. All of the above. Answer D. All of the above. The Book of Esther has generated controversies and criticisms concerning its historical accuracy, the exclusion of direct references to God, and its portrayal of violence, especially during the retaliatory acts of the Jews. Question 41. How do different denominations perceive the Book of Esther? A. It is universally accepted across all Christian denominations. B. Some view it as canonical, others as apocryphal. C. It is considered fictional by most denominations. D. It is not recognized by any major Christian denomination. Answer B. Some view it as canonical, others as apocryphal. Different Christian denominations have varied perceptions of the Book of Esther. For example, it is included in the Hebrew Bible and Protestant Old Testament, but is considered apocryphal by the Roman Catholic Church. Question 42. What archaeological evidence supports the historical setting of Esther's story? A. Inscriptions naming Ahasuerus. B. Artifacts from the Palace of Susa. C. Both A and B. D. No archaeological evidence supports the story. Answer C. Both A and B. Archaeological evidence supporting the historical setting of Esther's story includes artifacts from the palace at Susa and inscriptions that help corroborate the existence of a king like Ahasuerus. Question 43. What are some feminist interpretations of Esther? Esther is seen as perpetuating patriarchal values. B. Esther is viewed as a figure of empowerment and agency. C. Esther is criticized for her use of beauty and charm. D. Both B and C. Answer D. Both B and C. Feminist interpretations of Esther are varied. Some view her as a figure of empowerment and agency, making strategic use of her position, while others criticize her reliance on beauty and charm to achieve her goals. Question 44. How has the portrayal of Esther in art and culture evolved over time? She has been consistently depicted as a passive figure. B. Her role as a savior of her people has been emphasized. C. She has been romanticized as a tragic heroine. D. Her story has been largely ignored in art and culture. Answer B. Her role as a savior of her people has been emphasized. In art and culture, the portrayal of Esther has evolved to emphasize her role as a savior of her people, with numerous artworks and literary pieces highlighting her bravery and strategic thinking. Question 45. What intertextual references to Esther are found in the Bible? A. References in the prophets. B. Allusions in the New Testament. C. Citations in the Psalms. D. There are no intertextual references to Esther in the Bible. Answer D. There are no intertextual references to Esther in the Bible. The book of Esther does not have intertextual references in other parts of the Bible, making it a unique standalone narrative within the scriptural canon. Question 46. How does the story of Esther contribute to the understanding of Jewish history? A. It offers insights into the Babylonian captivity. B. It highlights Jewish life under Persian rule. C. It focuses on the rebuilding of the temple. D. It discusses the origins of the Jewish people. Answer B. It highlights Jewish life under Persian rule. The story of Esther contributes to the understanding of Jewish history by highlighting aspects of Jewish life and challenges under Persian rule, offering a glimpse into the dynamics of diaspora existence and survival. Question 47. What psychological themes can be explored through Esther's experiences? A. Resilience and identity conflict. B. Fear of the unknown. C. Happiness and fulfillment. D. Psychological stagnation. Answer A. Resilience and identity conflict. Psychological themes such as resilience and identity conflict can be explored through Esther's experiences as she navigates complex personal and political landscapes to secure her people's safety. Question 48. How is the theme of vengeance handled in the book of Esther? A. It is condemned outright. B. It is encouraged and celebrated. C. It is presented as a necessary evil. D. It is handled with ambivalence. Answer C. It is presented as a necessary evil. The theme of vengeance in the book of Esther is handled as a necessary evil. The Jews are allowed to defend themselves and exact revenge on their enemies, which is portrayed as a justified response to an existential threat. Question 49. What role does prayer play in the book of Esther? A. It is central to the narrative. B. It is mentioned frequently. C. It is implied through fasting and reflection. D. It does not appear at all. Answer C. It is implied through fasting and reflection. While prayer is not explicitly mentioned in the book of Esther, it is implied through acts of fasting and reflection, especially before Esther approaches the king, suggesting a reliance on divine support in times of crisis. Question 50. How does the book of Esther explore the themes of power and politics? A. By ignoring them. B. By focusing solely on religious aspects. C. Through Esther's navigation of royal politics to save her people. D. By depicting overt political discussions. Answer C. Through Esther's navigation of royal politics to save her people. The book of Esther explores themes of power and politics primarily through Esther's strategic navigation of royal politics, highlighting the use of personal influence and intelligence in high-stakes situations to effect change and ensure survival.